Oops.
You in like I don't know where you're at.
Here. Can you not see me?
Oh, we can see you
Oh,
and the city behind you as
y'all are
well.
jealous.
I guess.
I'd be jealous too.
Generally not jealous of things, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty good about just sitting in my chair.
Yeah.
I don't need to be in that city. I'm glad you're enjoying it though.
I'd be jealous too. I am messing with stuff.
And Dewey, in regards to the commons and uncommons that I may need, I think it's just going to be two Infernal Grasp and two Test of Talents.
Okay. There's a really good chance that those should be good because I think I'm only going to be playing two and two of those as well.
Yeah,
No.
I'm
I'm
I'm not
I'm
100% like honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to be done with the
I'm gonna
finalized
so
version of
here's
this
here,
deck until
yeah, here's the upside. I do plan on bringing all my extra blue black
great.
cards.
Please, yes.
I only bought up
That's
to
fine.
four of each. So if I'm
Okay.
using them, you will have access to it. Also, I'm not on Behold the Multiverse.
I
I'm
have
definitely
that.
on.
I have
No, no,
so
I'm just letting you know of
that's
myself or
great.
the blue blacklist. I'm not on Behold the Multiverse. I own them. I'm just gonna be on Memory Deluge because I just think it's a better card.
Yeah. I think it's a better card too. It's obviously a better card. I
All
don't think
right.
there's any argument there, but the being able to foretell the behold is kind of important in the liar deck specifically.
Yeah.
You
But
guys
I
ready?
tried four. Yeah, I was
Uh,
trying four on stream today at the beginning because people were telling me that's what I was supposed to do, and I immediately missed the deluges. So
I bet you
I went
did.
back to 2-2. I
All right.
did. I was not pleased. I was not pleased, dude. When I like my first, I tried a Geist Wave.
Oh, we're here,
Gary's in
guys.
charge.
We're here.
Uh,
Transition. Let's go live. We're live. It's talking Swish time.
It is.
Um, you guys got to hear a little conversation about their preparation for this weekend.
You'll get to
yep.
hear a lot more about it
Steven
in a
is
little
a
while.
fan of cutting days loose.
I'm not.
But no, guys, how are we doing today?
Good, man.
Not
Good. Been
bad.
playing a lot of standard.
I know you've been streaming right here on the Twitch channel here at Twitch was that // one of the slashes the Swish Gaming. Um,
Yep.
I don't know what it is. I use the other one at work and it confuses the hell out of me.
You have to use forward slash at work?
Yeah, it confuses the hell out of me all the time. You know how many login incorrect attempts I have a day? It's pretty bad.
You're the guy that calls IT and says I'm locked out.
Yep, I've done that once.
Ugh.
I've locked my iPad because I forgot my daughter's birthday one day because I was tired, and that's the password. I was like, I cannot remember what day she was born.
Yikes. That's pretty funny though.
I feel like
um,
there's a Squid Games thing with that.
I don't know what
Oh,
Squid
dude.
Games is.
Julie and I watched Squid Game this weekend. It was freaking gas, man. That was a really good show. Basically, Larry, it's like without like spoiling for you, it's essentially they get a group of people together and it's kind of like Hunger Games shit.
Mm.
They all like have to kill each other and are like
I've
playing
never seen Hunger
games.
Games, so I don't know the
Okay.
reference.
All right. Well,
I just
they get this
watched.
group of people. They get a big group of people together, and they all have to compete in these games, and almost all of them die. And
Um,
that's the premise.
that's pretty cool. I just watched a movie that just came out not too long ago for the first time. It's called Castaway.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah,
I remember seeing that when I was pretty young, actually.
yeah, it just came out not too long ago. Um,
Not 16?
it's not that far off, you know.
I think it's
Are we not talking about the same Castaway with like Tom
20,
Hanks?
21 years ago, not 16 years
Oh,
ago.
we
20
are.
years
Oh,
ago.
we are.
Okay, I was about to say, I remember seeing that when I was like 8-ish.
Yup, I just saw it when I was 31, so it was close.
Nice. Yeah.
Same thing.
I need to watch Forrest Gump. I've never seen that, so we gotta
Are you
watch that too.
serious?
Yeah, I've
Oh
never
man, that
seen
movie's great.
Forrest Gump. I know he runs. I know that
He,
much.
he does. He does a lot
Uh,
of things in that movie. Running is one of them.
he shows a present in his butt. I think. I only know
He
this.
does.
I only know this because Weird Al Yankovic has a parody called Gump.
Mm, that's funny.
So I know Weird Al taught me everything I need to know about Forrest Gump.
Hey,
Weird
great.
Weird Al teaches a lot of things
I want
to
to
a
be.
lot of people,
I've seen him
and
multiple times in concerts. One of the best concerts I've ever been to.
I feel like he'd be an amazing
Oh,
person to, for concerts.
so fun fact: he has two more outfit changes than Cher.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I remember
Pretty nuts.
back when I was in middle school and high school, I was a big Weird Al fanatic. Loved them because that's when White and Nerdy and all that first came out, and you
Uh-huh.
know that was me. I was like, oh yeah, White and Nerdy was like I would have that on my MySpace wall or whatever it was called, the layout.
Nice. That's
Uh,
funny.
yeah, the good days.
MySpace wall.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called. Maybe it was just called a layout. It's
No, you're right. I'm just
I remember my buddy.
wondering.
My buddy had me try making a MySpace once.
oh
I
my
like never went
god.
back to it, but I remember we put a little South Park Jeff Hardy on there
Oh
because I
that's
really liked Jeff Hardy at that time.
mhm.
So we put a little South Park Jeff Hardy on my MySpace, and it's probably still there, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of Tom Brady backgrounds on my stuff.
Okay.
I was a big football fan back then. I say back then like I'm no longer a football fan. Um, but
I don't think I had any of that.
yeah, because I don't even know you. I don't think you know what football really is.
I played football.
Yo, mentioning a football, yo, it's gonna be so hype in East Lansing this weekend because both Game Day and Fox is gonna be there. Um,
Oh yeah, my company's already like doing a bunch of stuff for like who's gonna win and whatnot.
oh,
So
I'm watching the game at SCG Con. I'm going to be playing Magic and having my phone right there. They said you can have your phone out if both players can see it. Both players are gonna be seeing the Michigan State football game. That's what they're gonna
Best
be.
part is most people at SCGCon won't care either because
They're
they're
gonna be
not
like,
from Michigan.
they'll be like, what is that?
don't they care? Like I thought this like I know this is just
It
a
is like the biggest. It's probably the biggest meeting between these two in a very very long time.
Winner is going to the playoffs.
I
I
don't know
thought
about all that. Maybe it's possible.
I thought like college football was like where it's at now. Is that not true?
It's always been where it's at, in my opinion. But I think
Yeah,
that's
College football's sweet.
it's subjective, right? Some people don't like the college rules. Some of the college rules are kind of BS, but some of the pro rules are BS. But that's sports.
Mhm.
But no, SCG Con's gonna be fun for those listening. These two on the cast over here, they are going to be playing the main event while I'm going to be over here. I'm on team side events because I'm going to have a good time. No stress. I'm going to enjoy watching you guys have to stress about getting everything ready the night before, and I'm going to be like, man, I just got to make sure I can figure out what event to sign up for. It's going to be
I
nice.
I don't want to alarm you. I have no stress.
Oh, we're going to make you stress. I'm going to hide your deck.
Like I'm already prepping all my decks. I'm going to prep the rest of them tonight a little bit. I think I'm gonna build maybe one deck tonight that I have to modify, and then I think tomorrow I'm building the rest of them, and then I'm gonna be set.
Awesome.
Oh, then I have to pull like a bunch of cards for a bunch of people.
Well, we're going to talk more in depth about your guys' preparation, but first, I went to the NRG event over the weekend, and that's a big talk on social media right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So put it out there first before we talk about anything that is the controversy behind it. Let's have a shout out for Daniel Wharton. He's one of the newest members that joined ours on the last wave of new Swish gaming members. He
Yep.
took second place in another great finish. He's previously had some really good finishes. Me and him both top eighted the NRG event before the pandemic in that January. He was on humans
Yeah.
at that time because that's when Oko was being played, and he instead of Manus Rider he played the dude that's like protection from Black and Green. Is that the what protection he's from? Or Crusader?
Mirren Crusader.
Yeah, he's playing at the fight through the Okos, and he crushed because of that. It was such a good meta call, and he did really well. Again, big shout out Daniel, and he did pretty well. He went X3, X4, I believe it was X3, in first time really Legacy, playing Legacy, not playing much Omnitel, and he did quite well with it.
Yep. And yeah, Dan's good, man. Dan's good, and Dan beat RIW member Connor Mullally, so...
Did he tell you?
No. Did who tell me?
Did he tell you what he did?
Oh, the surgical extraction. Yeah, so I didn't, until you told me specifically what happened, I didn't go back and watch, but Connor, one of the first things he said to me was, man, that surgical was really tilting, but whatever. And then I didn't really look into it. I just assumed he obviously got screwed by a surgical. But for anyone who's listening, what happened was I think Dan had multiple surgicals in his hand, and so he was pretty aggressive with his first surgical and just hit Misty Rainforests. And it just so happens that Connor kept a double Misty Rainforest hand and didn't get to play the game because he got surgicaled out of his mana base.
I love it.
So, pretty awkward to say the least. But, I mean, Dan having multiple surgicals, I don't hate the play. It may be right, it may be wrong. I don't know. I haven't played a lot of Mill. But it worked out really well for him.
His logic, he said he wanted to get the information. That was the main reason he did it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big things about
surgical, and it gave an upside. It had a little upside that time.
It had a lot of upside.
Normally, I don't think that's what you would go after, but...
upside.
Yeah, normally we avoid that play, but I also agree. I've made that play. Sometimes I made it when I've had just one surgical, if it really changed my plays going forward, and how I wanted to set it up.
Yeah.
But if you've got multiple, taking a land, especially if you think it's their crucial land, like the one they're going to have four of.
It's one of those things, right, where there's only a 3% chance or whatever that you do hit another fetch, but in that 3%, you're going to win a lot of those games because people do keep 2-3 landers and get really punished by that kind of play. So, it worked out. But the point here is Team Swish was one up on RIW this past weekend. We'll have to see how the Invitational fares. I think they have a few more. Well, actually, is it just Raja and Alan this weekend? Connor's playing.
So I spoke with Connor.
I don't know. Is Bogamus playing? I'm not sure if Bogamus is playing.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Honestly, I mean, I could see this event being at half of what it normally is for a time.
Right. Well, the thing about Bogamus, too, is Bogamus doesn't like to travel super far anymore. He tries to stay fairly local, so the events like this that are 12, 13 hours away, I think he tends to try and avoid them these days. But I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's kind of his...
That makes sense.
Methods.
But like I said, we'll get back to more about the SCG, and we'll start sending some trash talk to Zach Allen a little bit later.
Yeah. Well, he'll be on next week he's coming on next week for the podcast, right?
Yep.
So we'll get a lot of trash talking in that, I'm sure.
Yep. But yeah, let's backtracking to the NRG event. Daniel did get first, but Rob Hayes took down and got first place in the Modern event. Now, with that event, I thought they were good matches. I didn't get to actually watch Game 3. We were actually at a restaurant, me and my buddy, because we came into town Saturday night, because I didn't get to play both days. Now, with that being said, there's some controversy that was attached to it.
Right.
There was an extra land drop played, and to say the least, I can see from the initial wave, it was awkward. I talked to Daniel Wharton about it. Neither of us, me or him, believed that it was intentional.
Sure.
But there is a lot of commotion going on social media, and there's a lot of commotion coming. And what's really disappointing, there was actually commotion coming from one of the guys that actually runs, not runs, but handles the SCG events, and saying it calling it cheating, without actually giving Rob the chance to defend himself. And obviously,
right.
Reddit threads and stuff are going to do that. That's what Reddit and stuff does. Like, if you don't know about it, you're probably not gonna be able to defend yourself. And then like Nikachu made a video piggybacking off of NRG and stuff. And I get Max wasn't too appreciated that they were using the NRG name to run it through
Oh,
the
he was
mud
not
and
happy
misery.
at all. I saw.
I did watch the
those things.
Nikachu video, and he came to the same conclusion me and Daniel did.
Okay.
That we do not believe that it was apparent cheating. And I'll go in detail why I don't think it was cheating a little bit later. But I want to give
Okay.
Rob a chance to defend himself, and I just want to talk to him. Regardless, they played a lot of Magic that day.
Yeah.
He had to go through a lot of battles, and Elementals is a hard deck to play.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where I'm sure most of our listeners are probably players, and you've probably been in a position where you've done something that was illegal and didn't realize it before. Like I just did it a few weeks ago at Monday Night Modern when I was playing that stupid green deck. I tried playing that extra land drop, and fortunately, Danny, since it was on stream, Danny's like, "Oh, dude, you can't do that." And my opponent caught it too, but had my opponent not caught it, it was good that Danny caught it, and it was just one of those things where my turn had already taken like 10 minutes or something insane because I was doing a bunch of upheaval nonsense and a lot of math, and you lose track of these things sometimes.
And
So
add that you were at Monday Night Modern did this. Add the
Right,
pressure
yeah.
of the finals.
yeah, I know for sure.
After playing for like 13 hours or whatever it was. But we're going to go, our screen will go blank for a second. We'll be right back. We're going to go ahead and get Mr. Hayes on the call. Let's have Larry figure out technology really quick. We are struggling. Oh yeah, I like that. It won't let me like leave the screen. It's so annoying.
Bring it back, Larry. Bring it back, man.
It won't let me like leave the webcams at all. Like this is just Discord messing up now.
That's fair.
Like it keeps like freezing up. Discord's such a bad program. Oh my god.
I don't disagree. It's so well made.
It is not though.
They should have made Discord for business, to be honest with you.
They do. It's called Slack.
Black. Oh, brother.
Like, when they're all like pushing Zoom and all this stuff, I was like, man, why can't we just use Discord?
Bear with us, everybody. We'll be back
Oh,
shortly.
they can still hear us at least.
Oh, I know they can hear us. They'd probably like to also be able to see, rather than staring at this "be right back" thing.
But it's pretty.
I mean, it looks pretty nice actually. This is very well done. Whoever did this slide right here, it's gorgeous.
You're welcome.
Well done. Well done.
Quality slide.
I wish they had more slides like this when I was in school.
Wow.
Would you have paid attention?
Maybe.
Okay, there we go. I actually didn't know what his Discord name was off the top of my head, so I had to go look.
Nice. That's good. That's good stuff. All right. Freak. That's pretty cool. Freak.
We are sending the call.
He is on the way.
Yellow, yellow.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
I can't.
What up, dude?
What up?
Hey, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Just for some introductions, my name's Larry. This is Dewey and Steven. We are all a part of Team Swish Gaming, and we do this podcast weekly on Tuesdays right here on Twitch. How's your day going overall?
It's going well, all things considered.
Right, no, for sure. So yeah, we should just like jump into it. I know I saw you actually. Well, how I got linked up with you is I saw you responding to when I was talking about there's an SCG personality that runs like the events and stuff, made a social media post about the controversy over the weekend and his opinion on the controversy. And you made a comment, and I realized right when I saw that you haven't had the actual chance to talk about your side of things. So we want to give the opportunity for you, because I sent you a message earlier from from us to let you know what, like, when as I mentioned, me and Daniel talked about it last night. We talked about it on, I think it was Sunday after I got back. I sent him a message because I found out about it on the way home Sunday. Um, so let's talk from your perspective a little bit. Um, Run down like that finals for us. Like, what happened on your end?
So it was a very long top eight. All three of my matches went to 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I played round one against the four color Cascade Yorion deck, and that match took forever. Uh, game Match two was against Hammer Time. It went to game three. That was a grueling match, a lot of interaction.
Yeah.
And then I took a small break against Daniel before Daniel, but it was basically match after match after match, all game three, all very long, grindy matchups. And I was very tired. I mean, I hadn't eaten since breakfast. A lot of excuses, I know, but just kind of setting it up for you, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And the matches, if you watch against Daniel, it was really, really good games for the most part. I mean, uh, I kind of, held on to hope a little longer than I should have game two. Game one, I thought for sure I was a good toast. And I guess he drew a land or something game one. But anyway, it was a long, long game.
Yeah.
And then that game two, or that game three, in the famous, the land drop heard around the world,
Yeah, yeah.
I, I started off my turn by playing the Cavern of Souls, which I actually found out about the extra land drop the next day
Sure.
when I was reading the comments on Twitter.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
On the post, I was like, no way, I didn't really do that. And then I watched the video and I was like, oh my God.
Sure.
I immediately got tilted and went downstairs and talked to the tournament staff and,
Hmm.
trying to figure out what needed to be done to fix what happened. Um, but yeah, no, I started off my turn by playing Cavern of Souls, and uh, after resolving, drawing 6 cards or 7 cards over the last 2 turns off of the Muldrift or Ephemerate, and I normally don't lead with Cavern of Souls, or not Cavern of Souls specifically, but any land. I normally don't start off the turn by drawing a land or playing a land
Playing land, yeah.
because Risen Reef triggers allow you to put a land into your hand to play it. And after watching the video, the only thing I can think of, the reason why I led with that land is because if you notice, I started to tap 4 mana.
You were thinking about the Omnath.
Yeah, I was
Right?
thinking about casting the Omnath.
Yep.
And then I decided, oh, I have a Risen Reef in my hand. I think I'd rather play that.
Hmm.
So I played the Risen Reef. And there was so much going through my head because I was thinking about the next few turns and how I was going to kill him fairly quickly without, giving him time to draw out of this bad hand that he had kind of stumbled into. And I was 3 or 4 turns ahead, so I had I had already forgotten that I'd played the land. So when I played my Risen Reef and I saw a land on top, and I looked at my hand and I had no lands in my hand, which is very strange after having drawn 7 cards.
Sure.
I was like, "Have I played a land yet this turn?" And everyone at the table, said that they weren't sure, or they didn't know, they didn't think I had. So I'm like, all right, well then I'm going to put this in my hand and play it as my land for the turn. And that was the cause for the pause.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I just would have put it into play tapped, obviously, off of the Risen Reef trigger.
Right, right. Of course.
And at that time, my hand was 2 different Omnaths, Teferi, Ephemerate, Solitude. It was a stacked hand.
The
I
Force,
had everything.
obviously, which we all know about.
Right,
And that
the
was going to be
famous Force
that was going to be
negation.
my next question: is if you had another blue card to pitch to Force anyway, which I assumed you probably did with how many cards that were in your hand.
Yeah, if you watch the previous turns, you can actually see on camera that I draw a Teferi and an Omnath.
Yeah.
And then for that turn, I believe I drew the 4-color Omnath, which the next turn, or on his turn, actually end up pitching to Solitude, to Exile, you can see that I pitch an Omnath, and then you see me draw an Omnath and a Teferi on camera as well. So I had plenty of blue cards and actually would have pitched the Teferi to the Force of Negation had I not had the mana. And the only reason I even cast the Force of Negation off the mana was because I looked down and was like, well, I have 3 mana.
Yeah, I have
Don't
3
have an
mana, I might
Endurance.
as well.
Yeah, I might as well just cast it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So the Teferi was ultimately irrelevant that game. It drew me a card that I don't even remember what it drew me. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
I drew so many cards over the course of that game that the one that Teferi drew me was irrelevant.
Yeah, yep. I've been playing a lot of elementals, so I know what you're talking about for sure. I can relate. There have been a few games where I've drawn literally my entire deck.
Yeah, and the only reason I countered that there is because in my head I'm thinking I don't have an Endurance, so I can't fight this Nile Spellbomb. He might have a Surgical Extraction in his hand because he had to have kept a bad hand for a certain reason, right? Or a hand with no black mana for a certain reason. So surely, this is a critical piece. It's going to turn on stuff in his hand. I was going to counter it whether I was going to pitch a blue card or I was going to hard cast it. And I wasn't going to pitch the Omnath, the 3-color Omnath, because I felt like that card was my key to winning the game over the next 3 or 4 turns.
Sure.
Before he had a chance to draw out of what he had going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't, make excuses for playing the land. I mean, looking back, it was a terrible mistake. I own the fact that it happened. Obviously, I'm not trying to, deny it or what have you. I've seen lots of comments and people, calling for my head, and I don't know if it's quite that deep, but it was definitely a mistake. And apologies to Daniel, if he felt that it was malicious in any way. I hadn't looked for him on Sunday, but I did really poorly in the Legacy event, so my team and I ended up leaving.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I don't know if you were on when I was talking about this, but I talked to Daniel a little bit Sunday, and then I talked to him more in depth today, and I actually messaged him after I told you you were coming on. Let me see. He's got words of like, he was like super glad that you were coming on. I know that was the initial reaction. Well, not the initial. That was the reaction. We only had a small conversation today. Yeah, he said he's like, I'm sure he's sorry about the mistake. It happened. That's just the nature of it. Mistakes happen in this game. So your situation, I was talking to Dewey about this. This reminds me of Aaron Barrett. Is that Aaron's
Aaron Barrett?
Do you remember when Aaron was in the finals of the SCG Open and was playing Fires of Invention and played multiple lands?
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about this one.
And they played multiple lands.
Mm-hmm.
And people were coming for Aaron's head that next day, obviously. But those are the kind of mistakes happen. You're in the finals of a big tournament. You've been grueling and battling all day long. I don't think that was malicious. Those kind of things, that unfortunately they happen. And when you're explaining it, actually makes a lot more sense to me. So I was wondering, we watched the video, and as you mentioned, you paused. And I was wondering why about the pause was kind of awkwardly long, and it makes sense that you were communicating and asking Daniel and the scorekeeper, judge, whoever's sitting right there. Did I play? Did I play a land for turn? Because I've done that when I'm on coverage. I'll be like, did I play a land for turn? And then the judge worker, it's right there. They'll chime in and be like, oh, I think you might have, or I don't think you have. And then the other player will either agree or disagree, yada yada. So I definitely get that. At the end of the day, tell us about the procedure before the top 8 started. Were you guys playing for like all the marbles? Were you and Daniel when you playing up in the finals?
No, we had actually split in top four. So at the beginning of top four, they asked us for splits at
Mm-hmm.
top eight.
Mhm.
Right.
Someone denied the split, and then they asked us for a split again at top four. No one denied the split, so we all split the prize money that was remaining among the top four.
Okay,
Okay.
so the
And then,
money wasn't relevant in the finals.
no, the money wasn't relevant at all. We were playing for a trophy, and actually, I don't even think that they were doing the thing where they give the winner uh, an automatic invitation to the Invitational
Nope.
anymore. They did that in 2019, but they weren't doing it now.
Correct.
So the only thing that I got was like 2 additional points or something, and then the trophy. Because we all got an invitation. The top four all split the money, and then we all got an invitation to the arena qualifier.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they were doing the arena qualifier or invitation. It's
That's pretty neat.
pretty sweet. Yeah, cause yeah, Daniel told me that you split. I didn't know you split in the top four and not the top eight. I just knew that you split. It's kind of
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Mhm.
And I knew that the points weren't like a big difference, like between like first and second. I knew 2 points could matter, obviously.
Right, right.
Especially when you're grinding. Are you before this event? Were you already on the leaderboard at all?
I had 1 point because I played in an event before COVID when they came to Indianapolis because I'm from
Yep.
Eastern Indiana.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So they came to Indianapolis, I played in one, and then when I saw they were starting back up the circuit, I decided that I would start grinding it again.
Cool, man.
Makes sense.
So I'm new to the NRG circuit, hopefully here to stay and gonna keep chugging along. Obviously, modern is my forte. I play Legacy, Standard, Limited, but
Mm-hmm.
modern is definitely where my focus is. And yeah, I mean, just kind of super unfortunate that this happened. My first big finish in this series.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were playing for. There was zero EV for me to cheat like that on camera in front of everybody.
Hmm.
Like there was
For a
zero
couple
gain.
for a couple NRG points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had everything to lose and nothing to
Hmm.
gain from it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, not to mention, I'm a store owner. I own a game store in Indiana, in Richmond, Indiana,
Oh, really, man?
and
That's awesome.
Okay. What's
so
the
my
name of
my
your store?
reputation, it's Tabletop Adventures,
Okay.
Okay.
and we sell on TCG Player as well. We're Tabletop Adventures IN. We have 50,000 plus sales on TCG. I sell on Facebook groups. I mean, I've been a part of the Magic community for a long time,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and my reputation is everything to me. So
Yeah.
there's zero way that I would intentionally do this and risk everything. What I
Yeah.
literally devote my life to.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, it's my career, it's my livelihood.
No, most definitely. Dude, it looks like you wanted to say something.
I mean, it's one of those things for me. Um, we all play, I think, pretty competitively.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think if you don't play competitively or just the break that we've all had with Magic, it's hard to forget that you go, as you mentioned, all day without eating. You might eat a breakfast, it might be a crappy breakfast, but you'll get some food in you. And then after that, you're going to go and you're going to do the event. And if you're doing well and you're playing a grindier deck, more often than not, you are going to be there all day. You don't get a chance, you don't get a break. There's a huge mental fatigue.
Yeah.
Um, it wears on you so many ways. And when you're in top eight, and then you're in top four, and you're in finals, kind of thing. Like it it builds up. I mean, and then being on camera as well, like that is huge pressure. All of that up, it culminates into a single match and a single game, and I don't know. I think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah.
I agree
So,
100%. Like I said, you're playing probably one of the most skill intensive decks in the format too, in my opinion. Elementals
mhm.
has a lot of decisions. I don't play the deck well myself. People seen that last night on coverage actually. Like I don't play the deck well. That deck is very complicated to pick up out of the blue. especially when I'm not playing a lot of Magic.
Yeah.
Not a good deck to pick up. Um, so I can respect you doing well with the deck because
Oh yeah.
let me ask you, how many rounds did you have, like 20 minutes to just kill?
Zero.
Yeah.
I basically went to time almost every round.
Yep. That's
That's
how
what
the
I would be
experience usually
expecting.
is for me too.
Well, Steven, I wouldn't really count you. You're,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. Um, you're another level over here. But, but yeah, for those that are listening, I, I really suggest you go look up some of the other situations that has happened to really good players. Aaron, a very well-known player on the SCG tour, made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
We're all human.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing that I can say, especially you, Rob, is take this as a learning experience. And you're gonna have to like gain deaf ears when it comes to social media, of course. Um, don't
For sure.
just take it all as something that you can learn from. You'll have this video. You'll have this to be able to remember, and it can use it as motivation. And
My thing with it too is there were so many like obviously Dan and yourself are in the middle of the match. You're playing the match, but there are so many spectators watching that match. Someone else should have really spotted it and just said something. Like I'm very curious if literally no one noticed that you played that second land, or if people just held their tongue or what. But someone's got to catch that, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are multiple judges that should be on that match watching it, and obviously it was live on a Twitch stream, and some people caught it there, but it didn't get down in time or whatever. But someone's got to pick that up, and obviously the players will sometimes make a mistake, but when you have the luxury of having matches on camera like that in front of that many eyes, people have got to catch that stuff, man. I think that's just as much on the judges as it is on the players for missing it in that spot, in my opinion. The judges are literally there to watch that match alone because it's the finals, the only match left. So like, they need to be held somewhat responsible for it too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on social media a lot lately, and I definitely don't think that the judge did anything. I mean, they're just as human as the players
Oh, of
are,
course,
and
of course.
they haven't had, just like we haven't had the large events or the long days in a long time. They're just
Yep.
getting back into all of this as well, and the people around, there were, I don't know, three, four, five people standing around the table watching.
Hmm.
Um, there was the head judge there. There was, I think, a couple other judges behind. Some people were talking around.
Yeah.
There was a spotter there who, I mean, there were a lot of people, and a lot of people did miss it, myself included, my
Yeah.
opponent included. And I think it's definitely one of those things that's easy, especially because of the nature of my deck,
Yeah.
the amount of land drops that can happen when
Mm-hmm.
Risen
Yep.
Reef is involved, when Mull Drifter's involved, drawing a lot of cards. There's a lot of things that are behind it, and I don't really put any blame to anybody. It was really
No.
interesting to me rewatching the footage and hearing the announcers catch it. I mean, they caught it like immediately, right?
That that
Mm-hmm.
was that was really odd. Yeah, I didn't like that
I
myself.
thought I thought for sure after watching it, I'm like, did they? Because they had earpieces, right? Like
Yeah, and that's
they
the thing.
radio
Like,
to the
usually that's
table.
the case, right?
Hey,
Like, you're a commentator, you have an earpiece to the judge that's right there, so you can communicate with
Yeah, just
them.
radio that down or whatever. I
Hmm.
mean,
So,
again, I don't think it's their fault because, like they
no,
said, you
it's
know,
like it's one of those. No one specific. I'm just saying, like in your case, a ton of people are like jumping on top of you and getting all up on you about you scumming Dan or whatever. But it's like people. First of all, there are tons of people who missed this, and there's no one person who should be blamed.
hmm.
But I just think a lot of people to pay attention to what's going on in that game,
Hmm.
and it's just a good lesson to everyone. Paper's coming back. And these are the types of things you need to kind of watch for, and if you can help help people maintain game states, that's an important thing. So, when you're watching a game, pay attention and try and pick this stuff up so we don't have these silly issues arise that could just be avoided if it just gets caught by anyone who is watching the game. Literally anyone
Right.
catches that and they just tell a judge, "Hey, this happened." And we wouldn't even probably be having you on the podcast tonight because it wouldn't have been an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But,
Yeah, and we've all been used to having our hands held for the last, who knows how long by MTGO that does
Yep.
everything for us, and
Mm-hmm.
now we're
And
responsible
remembers
for
it,
our
and
own
we have a
triggers.
log, and we can check, and
Yep.
the
Yep.
computer stops you from doing something you're not supposed to.
Yep.
Yep.
Like I said, online makes lazy players because it's going to be nature because we haven't had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to not be able to remember these kind of things. I know I'm too old to be remembering how many land drops I have. Like, that's
Yeah,
what-
hopefully this reminds people, at events coming up, because I'm going to be going to Vegas, and
Oh,
if
awesome.
I play on camera there, or if people going to the Invitational, I don't have a qualification for the Invitational, and it's Halloween. I'm going to be spending some time with the family and kids, but
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
people playing on camera there, it's a good, it's unfortunate that I'm the scapegoat, but it's a good reminder to everybody just to make sure to be extra careful
Yep.
for paper events, because these things can happen to anyone, and to
Yep.
unfortunately keep an eye out on your opponent. And if you see something happen, don't hesitate to stop them, even if it was legit, just stop
Yeah.
them and ask, did this happen? Call a judge if you need to,
Right.
and because your opponent's human like you are, but they don't have your best interest at heart. And
Yeah, I'm a big
And,
believer in that too. It's just always call the judge.
Yep.
yeah,
And in my opinion, always appeal, even if it's in your favor.
Even if it's in favor, huh?
Like,
Okay.
I'm going with you. I'll appeal that. But no, it's awesome you're going to Vegas. By the way, I wish you luck. I believe Steven's going to that as well.
I think so, yeah.
I hope you guys have a good time there. Dewey, I don't believe is going. They didn't schedule that far enough in advance for my liking, so I'm not going to be participating in that.
Is it? Isn't Vegas the same weekend as it's the same weekend as Eternal Weekend, right?
Yeah.
Might be.
Yeah.
No, I think
And-
Eternal Week is the same weekend as NRG, isn't it?
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
It's
But
the
no,
same
it's the week
weekend,
before.
It's the same weekend as the Secret GP number 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
that was it. That was it.
There is no world, right, where I'm going to Vegas, coming back to do Thanksgiving, and then going to NRG.
True.
That's
I'm
not
doing
happening.
exactly that.
I'm doing exactly that. That's
I-
awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
I respect you.
I
not
may
doing-
also be doing that.
Well, I know you're
Oh.
doing the team tournament, so we're
Oh,
on
of
it.
course I'm doing the team one.
We're
There's
on
no
a
question
team.
on that one. The Vegas, I'm still a little up in the air on. We'll see.
Mhm.
Yeah, for me, I think it was that the fact that Vegas is just awkward timing with
Sure.
everything that's going on.
If they would have, like I said, it actually isn't because there's events back to back at a holiday. Because come on now, y'all knew what I was grinding before the pandemic.
Right.
The main reason is they didn't give enough heads up notice about the event. That's the reason I'm not going. I was like, they just not enough time to plan. When I go to Vegas, I don't want to be rushed to go because I actually enjoy Vegas.
Right.
Hmm.
So, like I said, I just went to Vegas for the Flesh and Blood event a few months ago, or however long it is at this point. Time is blending.
Time is an illusion.
So, Rob, are you going to be making a push towards trying to qualify for the big wrong circuit NRG championship?
Yeah, I most certainly will. I'm not gonna let the pitchforks and torches scare me away.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I know I made a mistake, and I'm gonna be a lot more careful going forward. Although I thought I was careful this time, so
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna definitely prepare more next time. I'm gonna bring some snacks. Call
Yeah,
it
I'm into that
self-doubt
habit,
or
keeping
whatever
water
you
on me,
want.
keeping food on me the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't prepared. I definitely drank water. They had water there. They provided water, so that was good. I didn't. I felt, pretty good, all things considered, but
Mhm.
I definitely. It baffles me that I could not remember playing the land not
Mhm.
10 seconds before
Right.
asking that question. Like it's kind of scary and crazy how your brain can lose functionality after playing a really competitive, skill-intensive card game for 12 straight hours. And
Yeah.
I just played like 3 hours worth of top eight matches or 2 hours worth of top eight matches before that in a
Yeah,
row
because didn't
before
you?
that match. So
Was it not you that played up? No, it wasn't you that played up against four color Yorion, was it?
it was me, yeah, on
Okay,
camera actually. You can
yeah,
watch that footage as well. That was a
okay,
crazy match.
yeah. I meant yeah, that was the last round of the tournament, right? Before the top eight.
No, it was the first round of top eight.
Oh, was that the first round of top eight? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
I
first round of top eight,
okay. I
and
remember
that
that
was
was
backup coverage round two.
yeah. I saw that match and I turned it off. I was like, I ain't watching this. This
it's
this sounds
it's a
like a
real.
headache.
I think I had to kill 16 rhinos, Fury, two Omnas in game three.
16
It's
rhinos,
insane.
huh?
Yeah, I ended the
Insane.
game at like 70 life or something absurd. It was a wild game.
That sounds awesome, man.
I might have to go
Sounds like
back
a
and
fun
watch that.
game.
That sounds pretty funny. Was it the actual feature?
Yeah, it was the feature match
Okay.
for the first round.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
So let's plug your store a little bit. You said you own a store down in Indiana. Where can they find you? Where's the best some way to find your website, social media?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page. It's Tabletop Adventures. I think there's another one in Canada or something somewhere, but we're the one in Indiana.
Okay.
And we do we try to host legacy and modern tournaments once a month. Try to host some 1Ks. We do mostly TCG sales. We sell on Facebook under
Mhm.
my Facebook name, and then I have a business partner named Tyler who travels with me to events, and we've been competitive players for a while, grinding Grand Prix and grinding Star City Opens and stuff before the pandemic, and
Mhm.
we were excited to get back at it. We're going to keep getting back to it and keep going. We've just started getting into Legacy and Vintage quite a bit. He's been in Vintage for a while and has several top Vintage finishes under his belt, and so we've been just kind of getting into Eternal, but Modern has definitely been our forte. But yeah, we sell Tabletop Adventures IN on TCG Player. We are usually towards the top of the page because we keep our prices pretty low.
Okay.
Nice.
And then obviously you can message me on Facebook. We typically buy collections and are selling cards on there on the MTG sick deals and the high end page and various different pages there.
Right.
But
Well, that's awesome. Like I said, I wish you the best of luck. Maybe you and Daniel both can qualify for that big NRG event at the end of the year. Whenever I don't know the date that they're actually holding the event, um, because that'd be awesome. I don't know like their schedule because it got all thrown together because COVID canceled the NRG events and they brought them back. I
Mhm.
actually don't know what qualifies you for besides like I believe there's like your overall leaderboard and then the
Yeah,
2021
it's
leaderboard.
yeah. I think it's
Yep.
the top 7 of the overall and top 3 of the 2021.
yeah, yeah, and then the winner of the team event, which
The showdown on the 27th or
yeah,
whatever. Yep.
maybe if he's there for that or on the Sunday event the following day, I plan on
Mhm.
playing in both of those, and I'm gonna be the modern seed in our team.
Nice.
Woohoo!
So
Pretty cool.
Steven, you guys could play elemental mirrors. You both should play elementals and play a
That'd be
mirror
Mhm.
something.
match if we run into each other.
That would
Yeah.
be something.
Talk about
And
a
then
fun mirror.
I'll
yeah.
strongly recommend an Omnath Locust of the Royal. That card was the MVP.
Okay. Cool, man.
Yeah,
Good to
no.
hear.
I definitely don't want to take up any more time. We wanted to give you an opportunity to come on here. With all the controversy, I do want to just say, um, don't defer against playing at like your local NRG event. They run a great circuit. Max, Norm, they're great people. I'm a big
Yeah.
supporter of the NRG series. I love what they're
Mhm.
doing. I'm hopeful that we're going to see a even full schedule released at the beginning of next year so I can grind all the events. Unfortunately, I was 20th on the leaderboard going into this weekend. Not being able to play Modern really hurt me, and not having a strong Legacy finish hurt me too. So I got some work to do next month. There's a good chance I'm going to be driving for a Sunday only tournament for December, just because I might even call in just to play that weekend. You never know. Hopefully somebody in my family gets sick, so I have an excuse.
Oh my gosh.
Steven, you're gonna need to go and throw me some false positives or something again.
All right.
But
Yeah.
no, but yeah, all jokes aside, definitely check out the NRG series, and definitely check out the store over on TCG Player. We're looking forward, and hopefully you do well in Vegas. You're not doing the envy. But Steven,
Yeah, I hope so as well.
do you guys have any more questions for Rob before we let him go?
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, I just appreciate you coming on as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It helps to talk about it. Obviously, my mental health has been put to the test over the last couple of days.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I
You
can
You know,
understand.
I didn't plan on saying anything on Twitter at all. I was just gonna, kind of let it go and
Yeah.
hope it died out. And then I saw Nick's post, and I couldn't help but defend myself. So
Yeah,
Right.
when I saw you actually defend yourself, that's when I decided to reach out to you. And it was like, hey, you deserve a platform to actually do this. Because I noticed that you don't, it doesn't seem like you are too active on Twitter. Um,
no, I'm not.
and because of that, I know how big Twitter is for Magic. And I feel like I won't call us like the greatest platform. We're no Star City Games or anything by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But at least it's a platform that we can go and get your side of things. Like I said, it's funny because the other side of the equation was one of our
Our team
members.
was our team.
Yeah.
So
So
Yeah, no, I was definitely surprised when you reached out. I was a little bit apprehensive, but
mhm.
after, taking a few moments to think about it, I decided that I should talk about it. And, whatever the masses think about it, at least now they have something to go off of, something to reference that
yeah.
tells them the side. Whether they believe me or not, is completely up to them, and I
Yeah.
can't do anything about it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
That's their
I
decision, right?
can only keep playing and try to do better going forward.
Like I said, I wish you the best of luck in the rest of the energy season. For the last 2 weekends that they have coming up in this next couple months. I I hope to see you in the championship at the end of the year.
Me too.
Get you another trophy to go along with this
Yeah.
one. Hopefully, maybe next time Daniel will be able to get you though.
Yes.
I'm sure
Yeah.
if they're both in the the championship, it'd be a reasonable trade.
All right. If they're both in
Yeah.
the championship, I expect y'all in the finals because it would only be fitting that where it all began.
That would be
Yeah.
pretty
Right on.
pretty cool.
I would be resigned to play the villain in that
Yeah.
scenario.
And it'd be
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
better if you both were on the same decks.
Well,
Oh
I
my
don't think I'm
gosh.
playing Mill, so
Oh, I meant like the same decks you were just on, not like I don't think you'll be on Mill. No,
oh,
no
Yeah.
reasonable Magic player plays Mill in a
Mill
competitive
versus
tournament.
Elementals round 2.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
we
okay.
actually
makes
have a
sense.
You
we have a
said,
local that has been on the Pro Tour several times who has been playing Mill for a long time, and
Okay.
I have lots of experience against Mill.
It's pretty good, man. It's a pretty good deck.
it's good when
Yeah.
Dewey's
Daniel plays
Dewey's
it.
been Dewey's been doing quite well with it too. All the events he plays, and you're playing it at the Envy,
I was gonna
aren't
say,
you, Dewey?
I'm like 95% on it.
Okay,
I like that
fair
he was
enough.
like off it, and Daniel gave him new hope.
Well, no, it's like 60-40 on it.
I know. It's just funny once Daniel did well with it. You're like, it went from 60 to 90. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I was 60% towards Amulet, to be fair.
Oh, that is true. I remember you saying that.
Okay.
But you just put your children to bed, Rob. So I want to let you go so you can enjoy the rest of your evening and not be too time consuming for you. But again,
Yeah.
one last time, thank you for coming on.
Thanks a lot, man. It's good
Yeah.
talking with you.
Thanks a bunch.
And if you ever want anybody to hear your side of the story, this is automatically uploaded to our YouTube page, so they can always go through and hear. So you don't have to keep repeating it to people if you don't want to.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, hopefully I don't hear about it too much longer. But
Hopefully, that's
It'll
how
probably die off.
Magic social media. They find something to hang their hat on for one day, and then the next day it's all
Someone else will do
ancient
something that
history.
that makes them more angry, and they'll be on that. I'm sure.
yeah,
So it'll.
I have gotten
Oh,
a wave support over the last day. So
That's good.
That's good.
good.
I'm
That is good.
glad to hear it. But again, good luck. We will catch you on the flip side, my friend.
yep, thanks a lot,
See
guys.
you later, dude.
Later. And that was Rob Hayes. I don't know if he goes by Robert, but we'll just go
Okay.
with Rob.
He actually
yeah.
just followed us. Just
Yes,
followed us.
I did. I didn't want to interrupt
which is
everyone's
awesome.
train of thought, but
Yeah.
Rob, thank you for following us. We appreciate
Absolutely
the follow.
appreciate it, man.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were talking. We were like doing a lot of preview discussions about SCG Con. We're gonna be getting into that in depth. We're gonna be talking about some mill. We're gonna be talking about Steven's standard testing because I think he switched his deck like 15 times at this point for the Envy.
That sounds
Tell you all about it. Dewey can tell you all about it.
We're gonna be getting
Hey
into
Dewey,
that.
you got this. Hey Dewey, you got this. Hey Dewey, you got this.
You're
Steven, I
eventually.
told you. Steven, I told you last week I need a list by Friday, dude. Friday.
What's gonna
Well,
be super
Dewey, sorry,
funny?
man. You know me. It's not going to be done till this Friday. I'm not going to know till Friday morning before the tournament starts what I'm playing. To be completely honest with you, I never do.
Oh.
Last invitational, I top 8'd and I built my deck literally an hour before the frickin'
Hello,
before the
Connor.
stinking event started. So,
You're savage. I don't
woo,
like.
there he is. There's Malali. What's up, man?
I know that you like always want to have like the most up to date information before you build the deck, but I like that you just like it's fine. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah,
It always works out.
it's not the best habit, but man, has it worked out really well at a few
To be
events.
fair,
so.
That's how he top aided the last one.
I know.
Yeah, Connor, it's gonna be awesome, dude. Well, funny enough, dude, my D&T Modern top 8 was the same way. I didn't put that Sheffet Dunes in my deck until 10 seconds before the round, like before I had to give my deck sheet away. I was like tanking on if I wanted to play Sheffet Dunes or not forever. And then I was finally like, screw it, I'm playing this card. And it ended up being really good multiple times. It gave me lethal like 3 times on the weekend or something insane. It beat Rock. It beat Rock. It beat a blue-red player. It was insane. It was a great land. I was so happy I played it, and it was a colorless white source for Eldrazi Displacer, which was huge.
Ooh,
But
Eldrazi
took me forever.
Displacer.
Took me forever to decide if I was going to play that or not. Now, obviously, there have been events where I've done this type of nonsense where it has not paid off too. But funny enough, at most of the events where I've had success, I've made literal like last minute decisions. I remember Justin Crandall could tell you about this. The first open top 8 I ever had with Constrictor, I literally didn't decide on the second Kalitas in my sideboard until like 4 a.m. the night before or something, and I was pondering over whether I was going to put it in the deck, and Crandall just goes, "Oh, this is a really healthy way to build a deck. This is a really healthy strategy for doing well at an event." And then I top 8. It's just yeah.
Bro, I don't think you're an actual Magic player if you ain't up till god awful hours of the night trying to. It's like when I did really well in an SCG event. And it was my first day 2 cash, and I decided to start playing Cindervines in the sideboard of Burn. And when I was playing Boros, and I remember James Johnson hit me up, and he was like, where did you get this list? I was like, I didn't copy a list. I'm playing my own. He was like, I don't think Deflecting Plum's playable right now. I was like, all right, I'm going to still play it. And then I ended up on playing Boggles round 1.
Oh, that's gas. That's so
just
gas.
murdering them.
Yeah.
So gas.
Like,
Yep.
you know what's super funny? I have had, outside of Dredge, my number 2 most successful deck I play is Burn. But yet I refuse to ever register it now.
That is funny.
Like...
Why?
And then
I actually did. I did really think about it for this invitational.
And then, you know what's
I really
super
did.
funny? I was in this same state where I refused to register it. Then I didn't have a deck, and I borrowed Burn for GP Minneapolis when I was on my serious code spell. And that's when I started stringing a bunch of caches together, which eventually led to me like spiking that PTQ. Like, it just started a hot streak. I think Burn enables hot streaks, guys. Dewey.
Yeah.
Can I
Weird.
can I talk to you about playing Burn? I got a list right now.
You're gonna talk to me about playing Burn.
I got a sweet list.
Now, I would just like to remind you of the instances where we streamed Burn or recorded Burn together.
Oh my god,
Do you remember those moments? Now, what am I the master of drawing?
You love drawing lands, dude. It's
yeah,
fine.
we did
Just
it.
play 15.
We played Burn matches where I draw like 7 lands, and I'm
But-
pretty sure that's not supposed to happen.
Hey, hold
It's
on,
fine,
hold
dude.
on,
We're just
hold
gonna
on.
have you play 15. We'll just have
Hold
you
on.
play less.
Hold on.
You know how everyone else adds a land to make decks? Well, we're gonna have you go down like 4. You go down 4 lands whenever you play Burn, and everything's gonna work out a-okay.
Hear me out. Dewey, you have never played with this card called Dragon's Rage Chandler.
Okay.
That card says I will try to prevent as much as possible to draw more lands. That card
He'll
is
draw
messed
5 in a
up.
row. He'll
That-
draw 5 in a row. It's fine.
That's
It's not
fine.
gonna
Oh,
matter.
we'll play
Oh,
12 canopy lands.
I finished out the Blue-Red Legacy League today, and I played them, and I definitely milled away with so many lands.
Oh my god, there's a
Yeah.
game. There's a match I lost because I had like 7 lands in play, and then keep in mind I was wasteland 3 times in that game.
You still had 7 lands?
I was so annoyed. I was just getting so frustrated because that's how I lost the band. I was like, I literally play 18 lands. I got wasteland 3 times, and keep in mind I've also fetched.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious right now? But my opponent's over here like, oh, let's top deck Hull Breacher, top deck Murktide, let's top deck all the Pyroblast so you can't do anything. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, Steam Vents. Nice. Let's go. But no, the event was super fun. Just to touch on the event over the weekend before we move fully into the SCG.
You were mentioning something about a little bit of controversy around it? Or about the NRG event that happened outside of what happened, or is there something else?
No, I was just saying,
Okay.
touch the NRG event. We didn't talk
Oh,
about
okay.
the Legacy event.
Okay.
We were all talking about the Modern, obviously. There's those controversies attached. That we already went over that. If you didn't hear our interview with the other half of the controversy, the main talk point, catch us on YouTube a little bit later when it's loaded on there and you go back and watch it. It's a very good interview. Definitely something I would highly recommend. Yeah, you can go right there on our nice little about section here on the stream, and it'll take you a link directly there. You can also click that donate link if you would like to. We'd appreciate it. But
Oh, yeah.
moving forward, the NRG event was super fun. Like the Legacy event, I had a blast playing. I didn't play very well in a couple of the rounds, and that's because I had inexperience. I did lose to Allura in round 1, and that Allura player made top 8. So that made me feel a little bit better. The Allura deck is so cool, man. The Allura dungeon deck. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, that when that deck combo me, I was like, oh, I'm just dead. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's such a cool deck. It's just super funny. Yeah, because that game 1, I would have had the Force of Will to deal with Allurin, but the bastard played a True Name Nemesis the turn before. And I don't know if you know what True Name Nemesis says, but he says target opponent loses the game if you don't stop this. Because Delver don't have a lot of answers to a True Name Nemesis.
No, it does not.
We would have had a race. And I had nothing, and he would have had a True Name Nemesis, so my racing wasn't very good. To find out.
Weird.
So I had to answer it. Then he's like, all right. Next turn, Allurin. And I'm like, can I read that, please? I'm hoping at this point that the card's text changed. Like, 100% the card doesn't do what I thought it did. Looked at it, did everything I expected it to.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, he has to have a creature in hand. Then he plays the tutor card to grab the dungeon guy out of his sideboard, and I died.
Yeesh.
So died there. What else did we die to? We did some dying. We died like a champ. Round 2. Told you I have a memory of a 90-year-old man. There's a reason I have to write these kind of things down. Oh, the mirror match. It was so annoying. Game 1, I drew all my forces and days, as it felt like, and he didn't draw any, and he won. That card's just so bad. Game 2, I did all right. There was probably one turn that I could have probably sequenced things a little bit differently, which could have made a big impact. But essentially, I died to a top deck Murktide. But like I said, there was like a turn or two sequencing. Now that I reflect onto it, I'm not a big fan of. I don't remember the exact scenario, but I also don't think I'm playing the brainstorms and ponders correctly. I think I'm spewing them off a little too aggressively and not waiting to try to find what I need.
I feel like that's the number one thing. Everyone that I play Legacy with tells me that I'm doing it wrong. They say you need to hold on to that card
Yeah,
as long as possible.
I've been hearing that too, and the more and more I play and I think about it, like think about my matches, I don't really play those cards as trying to find answers for my opponents, but more of like, oh, I just want new cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think and me and you are very inexperienced when it comes to Legacy compared to a lot of other players outside of Adam. Um,
Yeah, I'm getting. I do believe I am getting better.
you are. I definitely
Uh,
think you're a stronger Legacy player than me. You've done better in the events for sure, and I think you've played a lot more than I have on Moto, which is huge. Like I don't play a lot. I think I've done the 2 matches there and then a couple like
mhm,
leagues here and there. But I've
mhm.
seen you actively playing, even if you don't like put up results. It isn't like putting a 5-0 those reps are so like crucial.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I never really care about the results until I'm like fine tuning a deck. I care about just
Exactly.
getting in those reps.
Yeah. Um, I will say I don't think Bant's a very good deck. I don't. I'm not convinced. I wasn't convinced at the Legacy pack. I don't think that deck's very good.
I love this deck.
Like, I get
Actually, I like the deck too, but
you
I
can
just
like the
enjoy
deck.
playing it. It might not be good. I
Yeah,
don't know. It feels pretty good when I play it, just at those Sunday things with people. Feels like it's got a lot of game to it, but
I think
I'd really like to play the Loam version too. The Loam
that
version
that's
sounds
when I'm not
hot.
counting. I'm talking about the band list that Dewey was jamming. I'm not talking. I think the Loam deck is actually quite good.
Very good
if,
innovation from
if
Brian Koval and Zach Allen there. Very good
yeah,
innovation.
I mean, there's some different versions running around with it. If it's this more strict Bant version, I only need to pick up one more Wasteland, and I can build it, which I'm pretty excited about. So I might snag that this weekend.
Hmm
So
Yeah. You said you're bringing your Legacy deck, right?
mhm.
Yeah, because I probably want to jam a Legacy side of it here and there.
Yeah, I
Um,
wanted to have the option to play Standard, Legacy, Pioneer, and Modern.
oh, I
If
definitely want to play Pioneer, not because I have a tournament coming up, but I like playing Lotus Field decks. It's super fun to me.
And like Connor alluded to, dude, it's going to be so fun just playing a really large scale paper tournament again, dude. It's
Mhm.
going to be really
Yeah.
nice and a very
Um,
long time.
Honestly, I agree with Connor. I just can't wait to see a lot of the guys. We're gonna get to hang out with John Whetstone, for example. It's
Yep.
always nice to get to see him. I'm a big fan of John. Like I told him not to ever change last night when he sent me a list for Yorion Reclamation. I just respond to him, never change. Please don't change because you
So
are
we know
awesome.
what he's doing in Modern at the Invitational. Some nonsense, but we knew he'd be doing some nonsense anyway.
I can only
So
imagine what his standard decks. Oh no, he said he was
no, it's
on
going to be
white.
mono white. It's going to be Whetstone White, dude. We already know it's Whetstone White. He
Watch
already
him.
made me play that. He already made me play that garbage on stream. And the best part is we did better with that garbage than we did with both mono white, like the deck that's supposed to be good. Mono white we did worse with, and mono green we did worse with too. We actually had a better percentage with Whetstone White, which was certainly a worse deck in my opinion than
Mhm.
either of those other two.
Are they though?
But
Is it?
I'm pretty sure, dude. Our draws, some of my draws with mono green just made me so sick, dude. That deck is a 28 land deck if you count the mammoths as land drops, and I could not hit a third land in like multiple games when it was just like so crucial. But either way, y'all don't need to hear me whine and complain about mono green and mono white. I'm not playing either of those garbage decks
Yeah.
at the NV. I don't
Um,
actually think they're garbage decks. They're very
pa-
good decks. There's a
pause your.
reason they're part of the big three.
We're gonna pause Steam for a second. Welcome Eli to the chat. He decided to
Yes.
go and finally follow us. I know it only took him a million years, but
Commander Crane.
welcome, welcome. Yes, those nonsense cards do make the most sense, to you at least. This is a
Fair.
man that does not accept rotation. He
Dragonlord
said
Atarka
rotation,
Modern All Star.
modern all
He's
star.
no, he's a man that knows what he likes, and he's gonna keep enjoying it. Okay, he's the man that's gonna go to a restaurant no matter what and order his chicken tenders and fries.
So
He's
I do
a
too, man. But
Oh my gosh,
that's absolutely what I do. But
there's so much
man, oh
food
man,
to eat.
this guy is playing Wiltleaf Liege. He is going back 6 years, 7 years, and he's playing Wiltleaf Liege at the Invitational this weekend in Modern. So we'll see how that goes for him.
hey, that works out well. I hope it does. I hope he crushes it.
A lot of people are
Uh,
playing Lightning Bolt, which is good for Wiltleaf Liege. It's pretty darn good against Lightning Bolt. I don't know how good it is against Unholy Heat, but we'll learn. I
or
mean, he is a
prismatic
Lingering
ending.
Souls deck too.
How is it against
Well,
prismatic
well,
ending?
it's pretty good against Prismatic Ending because it's four. It's a 4 mana 4/4 that gives all your other creatures +1/+1, or maybe it's all green and white creatures +1/+1. But in Mr. Crane's deck here, it will be just giving everything +1/+1. It's just a straight up anthem to the board. It also, if it would get discarded to any effect, it just goes into play. It's like a Loxodon Smiter.
Yeah.
But it's that affect's kind of whatever right now because no one's really playing Liliana of the Veil. Oh, I know you're playing Wiltleaf Liege. I know I know you're playing Rhino too. You're just really going all in on it,
Oh,
aren't you?
all right. Now he's a man towards my heart. He's playing some Siege Rhino. I'm on
Oh yeah.
board with this. I don't know if y'all
Wiltleaf
knew
Liege gives
this.
that one. Wiltleaf Liege gives that one +2/+2.
I don't
By
need the
the way, because
Wiltleaf
green
Liege.
and white.
I just want the Siege Rhino in my life. I played Modern Abzan. It wasn't good in my opinion. It was the worst Jund, but I got to play Siege Rhino. It was a good
I
time.
will say, now at least you get to play Prismatic Ending, which is the best removal spell in Modern. So that Abzan might actually be better than Jund now. Who knows? You don't get Ragavan, but you do get better answers, and maybe that's a reason to play it. It used to play Path, which is just a horrible removal spell in a mid-range deck, just absolutely dreadful. Ramping your opponent is just not good when you're trying to 1-for-1 your opponent to the dirt, which is what that deck typically likes to do. But I would buy that maybe with Prismatic Ending that deck is, maybe it's slept on a little bit. Clearly Eli thinks it's slept on a little bit.
Big question. Are you guys locked on, Steven, are you locked on your deck?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not locked on my 75s of either deck 100%, but I'm more confident in my modern deck than I am in my standard deck right now. My standard deck is probably going to change by 8 cards from where it is now
Is it
to the time I sit down at the table.
Do you want to talk about what deck you're going to be on?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about what deck I'm going to be on. So I'm not going to give huge details to it because one of the people who gave me the list
Just the
said
archetype.
Really
I'm
didn't
not.
want me.
You don't have to talk about the deck list
So
itself.
I'm gonna play a version of Blue Black Liar. I think it's possible that changes, but very unlikely. And we are gonna have some other decks with us coming, but that's likely where I'm gonna be. And this Liar, for those that don't know, it's basically Past in Flames on a stick on a 3, 4, 5 mana legendary creature. And the card's just nuts. Spells can't be countered when it's in play
We were
either.
all so wrong about that when we were doing the previews.
Yeah, we definitely were. Definitely were. I missed. You see, a lot of times when you look at cards like that, you just assume that they make sense and that they would say you can only do one a turn or you can only do this on your own turn. It says neither of those things. It just lets you just keep going. So that card's really, really stupid. But
every card says flashback on it. It's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's quite good. I will say what's interesting though about the Liar deck is I'm actually curious of just my original blue-black control, which is kind of what you're going to play, Dewey, right? You're on the more hard blue-black control deck, or
no, I'm still. So I am gonna. I'll also be on a blue black control list. I'm very happy with that deck. I'm just tweaking the configuration. I want to add some elements of the previous blue black control while trying to keep enough of the current Liar version without messing with it too much. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible.
it's really it's really interesting because I think actually our first version of Blue Black Control with the way the metagame is kind of with all these people they seem to be talking about these liar decks. The thing about liar is it's still like a 5 mana sorcery speed investment, and the deck doesn't play like any main deck counter spells at all.
Mm-hmm.
So our initial Blue Black Control deck may actually have been a pretty okay call for this weekend because just having a million counter spells is really hard for the liar deck to beat because they can't interact with you at instant speed, and you can interact with them at instant speed. And they can obviously if they get the liar into play, but the plan is you never let that card resolve. And if you have enough counters, it's not going to resolve. And that was kind of how that first blue black deck was built. Now the issue with blue black though that I found in that day 2 of the Arena Open was that the mono white matchup was really rough. Mono white was tough because you needed everything to line up just exactly right, and then you also needed them to not have that stupid phase out creature. The phase out creature is just a nightmare. And they were just able to slide on. They were just able to slide under you so well. And if your removal did not line up perfectly, they got under all your counters and stuff. And it was just too tough to keep up. So I think mono white was a pretty bad matchup for that deck, which is awkward because this format is very much like a big 3 format, and then it's kind of becoming a big 4 format where you've got the blue red epiphany decks, you've got mono white aggro, you've got mono green aggro, and then you have other variations of green aggro. There's like a green red deck. There's the teamer aggro decks, but they're all similar style decks. They're a Sika's Chariot green aggressive strategies. Some of them are playing Goldspan Dragon and things like that, but mono green and then all those other green mid-range decks will just kind of fit into a shell there. And now we're starting to see the development of these liar decks. A lot of people are playing variations of liar, which we saw obviously the Grixis deck at Worlds really kind of take off, and I think that's when people started to really kind of look at liar and be like, well, hey, this card's kind of messed up. And so now you even have some of the blue-red lists are playing liar. I know Corey Baumeister was playing liar and blue-red epiphany now. So we're going to start to – I think there's going to be a lot of liar at this event. And, it's possible that if mono white would have been low enough in popularity that blue-black – or if we just would have hit the right pairings lottery, our blue-black just counterspell control deck with all the Siphon Insights and things would have been really good. But – as it is, I think I'm going to play one of these liar decks. It's a really messed up card, and I'm excited about that. And then in Modern, I'm 100% playing Elementals, I think. I guess 99%. But, Elementals...
You're never 100% on anything, so...
No, exactly. I'm never 100% on anything.
Oh, whoa, that's not true. He is 100% to use that clock.
Oh, yeah, I am going to use the clock. Yep, I'm always going to use the clock. Sometimes more so than others, though. And with the decks I'm picking this weekend, it's going to be a lot of clock usage if I'm playing those 2 decks, and it's just kind of how it is. But, yeah, Elementals, I've just had so much success with that deck, and it lets me think and make a lot of decisions and kind of outplay people in a lot of spots, which I really like. I'm pretty happy about some of the sideboard choices I'm going to make this weekend. I think I found a good counter to people playing a bunch of Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas is really popular in Modern right now, or more popular than it was a few weeks ago. So I've got a nice little trick in my sideboard for people doing that nonsense, so I don't get blown out with Sprawl as often. And part of it is too, like against the Spreading Seas decks, Elementals can board out some number of Sprawls. You don't need to keep all 4 in all the time. There are definitely times where I go down 1, 2, sometimes all the copies. Very rare that I'll go down all the copies, but if you're worried about getting blown out by Spreading Seas, you could definitely just board them all out. But I think I'm going to try keeping them in and bringing in the sideboard card that I think will be very good against that. It will also help me against Shadow, I'm pretty sure, the card that's on my board, which is a matchup that I really felt like I needed to address after my last few events. But, yeah, I'm pretty confident in Modern. There are some matchups I'd like to avoid, but they're not super popular, and I feel like I can beat those matchups still. Like, one of my best matches on camera the last 2K was against one of my worst matchups, which was Tron, and I almost beat a guy who Karned me on turn 3 and Ulamogged me on turn 4. Like, I still almost won that game, which just really speaks to the power of how good Elementals is and the types of things that it can come back from. But unfortunately for me, I couldn't draw a land in like 6 draw steps, 5 draw steps, or whatever, most notably a fetch land with an Omnath in play. But I think both decks are good. And
I got a question about the Death Shadow matchup. I beat the Death Shadow matchup last night. It was one of my only wins last night, actually. So why do you find that matchup hard? I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, some of it is my opponents just had really good draws, probably, right? Like it's tough to beat. First of all, you're kind of it's Elementals is a deck that likes to mulligan a lot, and against hand hate spells, that's pretty awkward. So you kind of have to keep some medium to sketchy hands sometimes, because a lot of times I'm not going to mulligan against the Thoughtseize Inquisition decks very far. Like I'm not going to go to less than 6 against those decks because you're almost never going to win if they have Thoughtseize or Inquisition. You just have to get so lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But how a lot of my games have gone are, they thought seize me on turn one, they thought seize DRC me on turn two, then they have a dress down at a critical turn of the game at some point, and I just end up usually losing to that type of thing. But my opponents have had very good draws, and I haven't drawn particularly well in some of those matchups, but just the how their deck is built. The 4 copies of dress down, being able to loop dress down with Luris can be really problematic.
Okay, that makes sense. I was just like wondering because Solitude's quite good against them.
Oh, Solitude's awesome against them. I never get to resolve one. I've never resolved the Solitude trigger against Death Shadow, so
Okay.
I wouldn't know what it's like, dude. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know what it's like. I'm glad you could tell me about how good it
Yeah.
is, though.
Making them gain life is awesome.
Yeah, the only time I've ever been able to put a Solitude into play where it didn't get thought seized out of my hand was my opponent had a frickin' dress down, so it just didn't do anything.
You just suck.
Yeah, I know. I think some of it may be my dress down shadow opponents. Most of them have been pretty good. They've been pretty good Magic players, and I don't know. I'm not saying yours at FNM was bad, but
It's
playing
definitely
against
not top tier of opponent. I
yeah,
get
it's
it.
definitely.
I also
it's
don't think
probably
his
not.
build was. He wasn't on dress down either. That helped.
Oh well, yeah, that helps a lot. That's a different matchup. That's a very different matchup. Yeah, I'm specifically talking about dress down Death Shadow.
I
Against
just
other
said
Death
I beat
Shadow,
Death
might be fine.
Shadow. I didn't
That's
say
true.
nothing
I-
about dress down.
I assumed it was dress down, but
That's
okay,
your
yeah, no.
fault.
If they don't have dress down, the matchup's probably totally fine.
Yeah.
Dress down is just so good against elementals.
So,
It literally just counters
one
what your deck does
turn-
and draws a card.
One turn he had Darcy,
Mhm.
Death Shadow as a 4/4, and a Goyf at a 4/5, and one Fury was able to remove out all of them because I ephemerated twice. It was nice.
That is nice.
Ugh.
We did some killing. And then he couldn't cast a single creature the next turn because I had double ephemerate coming off of rebound. So he has to pretty much take a whole turn off from playing anything. And then it just lets me set up. So it's a good and he takes 6, taking 6 isn't nothing. And no, he took 8 there because I slammed the Kahira the next turn.
Okay.
Kahira didn't live long after that. The
Surprising.
heat was unholy. It was an unholy kind of day. He didn't have delirium at the time,
Mhm.
so he wasn't able to kill the big threat.
Mhm.
So the heat went to Kahira. I kept telling people all night last night that I was playing Dredge, and nobody believed me except one person. Yeah, one person thought I was playing Dredge. It was nice. Dredge with Kahira. Wouldn't that be a deck?
What an awful, awful, just disgusting, unplayable deck
No,
that would be.
look
man.
at no Stinkweed Imps, no Thugs, no
No
Ox. Can you play Narcomoeba? Like, I don't think.
Nope.
No, can't.
Nope.
No Narc.
No prized amalgam.
No Prize Amalgam.
No blood gassed.
Nope. But we have
What's making this dredge again?
We got Life from the Loam.
Who knows?
We got Dark Blast.
I
We
don't
got
know what's making this.
We got Salvage
dredge.
or whatever.
Oh, you know what? We can just play Seismic Assault. Let's just play Seismic Assault Loam.
Ooh.
We can do that with Kahira.
And
We just don't have to play any creatures in our deck at all.
Also-
Let's play all spells.
and a 1 of Aria of Flame.
Sure. Screw it. Why not? It's kind of like an elemental. It does elemental damage, kind of. It's like, I don't know. It does damage. The point is it's not a creature, so we could put it in our deck. That's the good news.
The value. This would probably be. Imagine if I 4-0'd.
We can play Fury. We can still play Fury, which is
Ooh.
gas.
This is nice.
Maybe we should throw this together some week. Just Seismic Assault, Loam nonsense. We can
Mhm.
play Crocs. Could we play Croxa? No,
No.
he's a giant, isn't he?
Yeah, because
Mm.
Kahira's too strong not to play. You have to play it. Um, let's switch over to Dewey a little bit. Dewey, you said you're about 90, 95 on Mill.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I was leaning pretty heavily towards Amulet and I had some really good results in the version that I was testing out on NTGO. I was leaning towards that, but Daniel and I were talking about the list for the NRG weekend. We were, comparing main deck and sideboard options and what we do, and I was leaning more and more towards his version. We tested out. I ran a league and tested out a bunch of things we were thinking about, um, and so his sideboard has a lot more counters,
You
and
went to the
it got
Master.
he's got the double pierce, the one remand, three disputes, and one
He's
force.
very
Right?
reactive. He
Yeah.
has a very
Um,
reactive game plan.
yeah, and his main deck is very close to what I was running. He added one. He's on one remand and four drowns, um, which I like. And he's still running the two crypts and the four fatal pushes.
So
Um,
Andrew made a
so
suggestion. What's your thoughts on playing any copy eliminates the respect to Fury?
eliminate.
The respect to Fury.
I don't know if I care enough.
Okay, that was my question. Do you care about the Fury at all? Because it
I
turns
I
off your
do.
IO.
It
Because
does
because
it
if
does
the Fury resolves, you can never remove it.
correct. So there's some thought to that. Well, my version, I was playing a one of Echoing Truth in the main, and that's where his remand is.
Okay,
And then I was playing another Echoing Truth on the side. So my version, I did have a way to deal with it.
okay, that's fair. I didn't
Um,
know your version had an echoing truth. To be fair.
mhm. I'm a big fan of the Echoing Truth. I feel like it's a good catch-all. I
Yeah.
still might slot one in the side and maybe cut like a dispute or something.
Hmm.
Um, But yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of having a good catch-all because the other problem
Fair.
is that Echoing Truth also deals with like white ley lines, or it also bounces like all artifact that the Urza Saga makes. So I've always liked that
True.
card. Oh, it also shuts off. You can bounce a chalice back to their hand to fire off a bunch of one-drop spells that might be stuck in
Yeah,
your
that's
hand.
that's pretty legit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that is.
obviously he didn't run it. He had good results, but I've always been a fan of it. So
Okay.
I'm pretty confident one will show up in my 75 if I'm on that list. I was in the amulet version I was playing around with was back on the Karn package.
Hmm.
And the Karn package makes the list real tight. But if I do play it, I'm probably going to be playing like the three caverns in the main deck build. One of our friends, Darnell, is on that, and I was on the two main one side, but I'll probably move to the three main.
Yeah,
So,
I think blue white's going to be a very popular deck this weekend
mhm.
too, which I think that's
Great.
very relevant. Do you want to play Caverns and Mill at all so you can catch your crabs?
Funnily enough, like I'm not gonna play caverns, but I was playing around with like specialty lands. So I was talking to Danielle about a Mikokoro, playing just a one of, and then that way you can actually stop some weird interactions that can prevent you from winning. One, just if you're going against like a control match and you just like they're just doing the draw go thing. You okay? Fine, we'll both draw a card at the end of your turn. You might have to discard. I won't, and you're just gonna keep drawing an extra card towards the inevitability. Or when people try to like put something on top of their deck on like their upkeep to prevent the loss, you can then cause a draw and then make them lose still. So just some interactions like that. I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. I know some of the recent lists that have been doing well did it, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. Like the event this weekend is going to be super fun. I'm hoping you both do well.
Mhm.
Yeah, of
Obviously,
course. Yeah.
um, even though people think I root against y'all, well, I do a little bit. But overall, I'm cheering you guys on. Um, I know I'm looking forward to having a all side event weekend. It's gonna be nice. Like I don't,
So like nothing against that because I think that's very valid and I think a lot of people get a ton from it. And depending on the entry from main events and everything, sometimes the side events are just so much more EV. I think I've ever done it.
I haven't. I've literally never done it. This is going to be literally my first time going to an event like this, because usually I'll be like, I'm going for side events, but I'm like, oh, there's a PTQ, I'm gonna go play that actually. Like those Innistrad like championship event qualifiers, I'm
Yeah,
not doing any of them.
yeah,
I'm not.
and the
I don't
other
want to
thing,
play any competitive tournaments. I just want to go. I'm gonna grind some tickets. I might play some Flesh and Blood here and there, and I'm just
hmm
gonna. I just want to have fun. I just don't
yeah.
want to have to stress.
The other upside to doing it, I know when people do go for the grind on the side events, is that the early on side events on day one of whatever the day tournament circuit looks like, the day one usually has the lowest attendance because a lot of people go for that main event. So then you have, if you're a good player, you've got significantly better odds of, spiking it. So
Well, that's unfortunate that my odds didn't go up. That sucks. Uh, no, I'm doing the side event package.
yeah.
I got. I believe it's like 125, and you can do any side event that you want. Any of the like constructed side events, as many as you want. So I'm gonna just do that, and they're 3 round tournaments,
Yep.
which is nice. I'm gonna grind, get some stuff, get some what's it called, tickets, whatever they do there, and you can transfer those over to credit if you want. You can just get product. I don't know what I would get with them. I have no.
Yeah. I'm eyeballing one of those hoodies. It looks pretty sweet to me.
Oh, the black red
Yeah.
one.
hmm
That's the playmat. I really like the playmat a lot, and I'm not a
Yeah.
big playmat guy.
My
So
my only issue with the playmat is I know what's gonna end up happening if I get the playmat. Is just gonna go into my stack of like 100 playmats that's in my closet. So
mention that I got hit up our good friend Brandon Darnell because he wanted me to get some cards signed for him.
yeah.
Thank you, Eli, for mentioning that because he had some cards. I forget what they were, but I was like, oh, his show and tells.
Mm,
And I
mm.
told him I'd get him signed. I'll see if I can, if I if I can go over there tomorrow night or something and grab them for him.
Yeah, I used to bring my entire collection, so then I can always like if I have the card, I can just get them signed. But more and more, it's just becoming cumbersome. So I'm only bringing specific cards. So if I happen to have something that they have there and I can get signed, cool. If not, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Um, but yeah, we're piggybacking off of that. I know we got you guys are pretty locked when it comes to modern. You're getting close to locked at least, Dewey. Like obviously you got a couple days to decide. Um,
I have like
but
literally
modern
one
is your
day.
at the end of the day, modern is your comfort zone.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been stressing much about modern, just like
Yeah,
staying safe. And we know the decks we enjoy
yeah.
playing and how to play them. It's more of just choosing the right 75.
So we have Steven in standard is probably most likely playing a blue black variant. Dewey, what is your front runner?
Blue black
Oh,
variant.
blue black as well. Okay.
I've been on a blue black list for like since we were talking about it
hmm
early on, and I went from the blue black Epiphany Poppet version to the blue black heavy control to another variant of the blue black heavy control to a version that incorporated divide, and now I'm on the current version, which I'll be tweaking a little bit. So
Okay. Um. Yeah, that was my question. I didn't honestly know what you, because we haven't. I see Steven every day testing standard,
yeah.
so I get to see him because we'll throw a little plug in there for those that are trying to watch some sweet arena content, 11 to 4,
Mm.
Monday through Friday.
Except
Steven,
for tomorrow, where I'm doing the spooky stream, which is going from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
well,
So if you
hold
want
on.
to come watch me throw a cape on myself, dress up as a vampire, and play vampires, werewolves, and zombies for 10 hours in honor of
Woo!
Halloween, you can come do that tomorrow. That's going to be something you can do. It's going to be something I'm doing all day. So feel
And what
free to
time?
stop by and
What
check it
time is
out.
starting?
10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 10 hours.
Oof.
10 hours.
Why don't you go to
Ah.
10? Why don't you go to 10 p.m.
Oh
and
my
make it an
gosh.
even number?
Well, because 10 hours it's a good enough. And
Yeah.
honestly, I need to like pack. After I'm done tomorrow, I'm just gonna start packing for the
For
indie.
what?
So,
I ain't taking nothing. I my
okay,
opinion,
nice.
my opinion. If I smell bad enough, y'all will buy me clothes.
Oh my gosh. No, I won't, but
Oh, it was a good plan on paper, though, right?
You can definitely try it.
um, no, this event is gonna be super fun. I know we're leaving out of here Thursday at 7 a.m.
Mhm.
7 a.m.
And we'll,
sharp. My goal is to be there by noon. Um, I don't think we're gonna hit that goal.
you know what they say, it's good to have lofty
I don't
goals.
actually know how far it is.
Oh,
You,
12, isn't it? 12, 11, 12. I think it's 11 or 12 hours. I'll look it up right now. Roanoke,
uh,
right?
Yeah, just for in Roanoke. That's the basis.
it is a.
Roanoke.
Oh, that's a flight. I want to drive.
We can't check in until
10,
you get
10,
there, can we?
10.5 hours for you.
It's garbage.
It's really not that bad, all
No,
things considered.
that's
That's
like the
like
that's like New
that's
York.
that's better than Iowa, right? Wasn't Iowa even further than
No,
that?
Iowa's 8.
Iowa was only
I,
8.
Iowa
It
was eight.
felt
The reason
longer.
it, yeah, and the other reason was I wasn't going because I had mentioned how long of a drive was for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um. No, it felt because you're going through the boring like flatland plains, and there's not much going on. At least when you go to Roanoke, you're going like through all them curves and all that. It gives you something. The mountains are cool to see. Um, I think the event's gonna be fun.
Hmm.
Should be very fun. Yeah, I'm really excited. If nothing else, we're gonna all get to go to Smoky Bones with James Johnston and use our gift card that we got 3 years ago or whatever, the last time we went. So it's gonna be a lot of fun though. Getting to hang out with people, getting to go eat food, just all the normal trip stuff that we really
Um,
haven't done in
I'm
like two
looking
years.
forward to just going and having drinks with the guys. That's what I want
Yeah.
to do. Steven, you're gonna do a lot of designated driving this weekend.
Hmm. Am I? Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. That makes sense.
You don't drink, and I'm going to.
Not usually. That's fair. All
Um,
right. Well.
so just so you're aware, um, it's either that or my car won't be leaving the hotel, and wherever we grab dinner, we will be Ubering.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause one way or another, your boy gonna be drinking.
We'll figure it out. The upside is that our hotel is literally only 8 minutes from
Convention center.
the event center.
Oh,
So
I wasn't talking about the. I'm not gonna drink at the convent. Oh, I
no,
might.
no,
I might.
and there's a bunch of stuff right around the event center though. Like all the food spots are all pretty much nearby.
Oh yeah. So
Hmm.
funny enough, like the first 2 times I went to the event, I always went to Mission Barbecue. Um, I like that place a lot. So I just
I like so like there's nothing wrong with the fact that you like that spot. I'll say, but like you should know from traveling with me now that it's a steadfast rule that we don't do chains.
I actually didn't know it was a chain because I was from Lansing.
Oh,
We
okay.
don't have
Funny.
that there. I've never heard of it till we went there. And then I was driving
That's
on
fair.
Beltline and I saw one. I was like, oh, they got one just like Roanoke. I didn't know it was a chain.
There is a Vietnamese sandwich shop there, and I have literally been trying to go to this the entire time that we've gone, but I've never had the opportunity to because they close by the time we get out of the event, and they're closed on Sunday. And I'm always so sad because they're open every Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. through to 7 p.m.
Mm.
And I almost always miss them, but they're supposed to be like the best Vietnamese sandwiches. And in Vietnam, my city is known for the Vietnamese sandwiches.
What's the sandwich consisted of?
It is a banh mi sandwich, is the name. And so what Vietnam basically did was because we were like occupied by France for a while. We took their baguette and made a crustier version. So you usually have this crusty little bread slice toasted, and then you have a liver pate, and then different slices of meats depending on what you're getting it from. But usually it's just like various different pork cuts and beef stuff, and then you have a couple different pickled veggies like daikon radishes and carrots, a couple different greens. You throw in some heat, like some Thai chilies or some jalapenos, mix in a little bit of like garlic chili sauce, hit it with some soy sauce, boom,
There's like,
amazing sandwich.
there's like 0% chance Steven would ever eat that.
That's okay. This is for me.
Yeah, I was just, because I'm picturing, I was like, oh, you're talking, I was like, All right, we're like borderline of Steven trying this. Then you start talking about all these pickled vegetables.
No,
All
so if Steven's gonna go, what we would get him is there is the pork belly sandwich of
Oh
this. So
yeah.
what you do is you're gonna take that crusty bread stuff, right? Because that's the keystone of this whole thing. You're gonna take that, and we have fried belly. You get this nice little square cubes of like amazing tender meat, a little bit of the fat, and then at the top there, that skin, it's been fried up like a chicharron. You load it up, and then you add in some seasonings and spices and some dressings, and boom, we're gonna serve that to him because that's just meat, bread, and sauce. He's good to go.
there you go.
Sounds great. Sounds like something I could get behind.
Hmm.
Oh, that's. I don't know if I've ever had pork belly. Oh, maybe I
Yes,
have.
now.
I think I had it at the Korean barbecue.
Okay. Yeah.
That,
Pork belly can be served a lot of ways, but the Vietnamese style where it's in those cubes and it's fried up and it gets everything you want. That's the best to me.
we just need to make sure of a couple things. Number one,
Mhm.
we find a good place that has drinks and local food.
I'm sure we'll
It's
find both of those
Roanoke.
things.
Well, there's that Mexican restaurant that we've gone to a bunch of times and where Andrew got absolutely wasted at.
I'm down. I told you, Mission Barbecue.
Well, the Mexican spot is great because they have this like 9 salsa bar
Oh, that sounds really good.
and these insane margaritas.
That sounds
Okay.
real good.
I did super horrible the Sunday I went to Roanoke the last time they had the invitation. I went with my boy,
Mhm.
and for breakfast I had a dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts. And I felt like crap the whole day. I I can't really figure it out. I must have caught something. Uh, I,
Oh my gosh.
I started out with a well balanced breakfast. Um,
Mhm.
Like Krispy Kreme donuts are very addicting, by the way. Like yeast donuts will do that to you. I don't know if you're a donut eater, but
I'll partake in a donut once in a while.
I'm a big like fan of donuts. Obviously, I don't eat donuts no more, but I do like a good donut. Now,
Yeah, it has to be the right. Cause like for me, if I'm gonna indulge in a donut, it can't be like a day old donut. It can't be sitting
oh,
around. Like I
gotta
want
get
a
it
fresh.
fresh.
Yeah, it's got to be fresh. Like it's got to be worth the calories for me.
Yep. Now, I like donuts, but not as much as our old roommate Cole.
You love
This-
donuts?
He did.
Oh, he used to come in with dozens of donuts every day, I swear. Oh, you should see.
Dewey loves them too. Our cat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Donuts.
yeah.
Steven,
Red Velvet, man, his favorite.
Do you remember back in, what was it, March or whatever, when I was buying those Punchkis a lot?
Oh yeah.
I was buying like 4 boxes at a time.
Mhm.
I just like the custard ones.
Oh yeah.
Those things are so good, but yet they're only like 10 calories. It's odd. Like,
Uh huh.
I did the math. So much
Oh my
sugar.
god. Did you ever ask Andrew about his eating contest with us?
Are you talking about the hot dogs?
No.
Oh,
Andrew used to eat.
The,
Like,
the
eats.
other eating contest.
used to.
I'll be honest with you. You may think he eats now, but he used to eat a lot more.
I told him I could beat him at a Chinese buffet.
I don't honestly think that's true.
Well, let's see. I can outdrink you. I can out-eat Andrew.
I don't think we've actually sat
Bro.
down to see who can outdrink who.
Bro, you're so messed up in Legacy Pit. Not Legacy. Well, it was Legacy Pit. In Maryland, you're so messed up over bottom shelf bourbon.
Oh my gosh. You don't even drink with me. You like,
I
I'll
did
take this,
drink
take
with
a
you.
sip, and I'm calling it good. I'm done.
What do you mean? I was drinking right there with you.
Uh-huh.
All right, Roanoke this weekend. Me and Dewey's got a match drink for drink. Whatever drink I order, he has to follow. Let's do
You
this.
realize I drink straight liquor because I drink bourbon, either like on the rocks or neat when I drink liquor.
You do
Because
know.
I don't do cocktails anymore.
Why?
Calories.
Well, calories don't matter this weekend.
They definitely do.
Not, oh, this sounds like weak talk right here. You see, Steven, he's terrified. He can't beat
How
me.
am I terrified?
He can't beat me, so he has to make excuses. I'm sorry, I can't compete with you because of calories.
I will go with you drink for drink. That's not an issue.
And then he's sitting there like, oh, I can't. And then you said calories matter.
Yeah, drink for drink. If you have a drink, I will be drinking a drink of equal alcoholic content.
Okay, that.
How is that? How is that not fair?
I thought we just had to match like the drinks identical. Because I was gonna go get a
Oh.
fifth of Everclear and some soda. We were gonna go to town.
Nope. I'd rather still have my liver. If I'm gonna drink alcohol, I'm at least gonna drink good alcohol.
Oh no, we're gonna wake up in Roanoke on Tuesday.
I have to be in another state and then be in another state after that. So no.
Yeah, that'd be a little awkward.
Steven be like, "Are we gonna go back home?" Larry's just knocked out. It's been
I'll
2
just
days.
I'll jump in the other car.
I'll catch you later. You just stay here.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm really excited for this weekend. This is gonna be a super fun event.
Agreed.
Uh, Now, just to make sure that we have it all set down, I figured out everybody has their vaccination cards. Steven?
I do not have my card, but I do have it on my phone.
Okay.
And they just sent an email today that said we're good if we just show it via like our phone online or whatever. And I also sent a direct email to Jared Silva just to be sure that that's okay. I don't know if he's gotten back to me yet. I'll have to check.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure it's going to be fine. I can show them the date I was vaccinated and all that. So I would imagine it's all fine.
That's good. Funny enough, we could go get our COVID test.
We could.
You want to?
No. Nope. I don't want
Did
to do
you
that
ever
anymore.
get the results?
No. Nope. Not the official ones via email. I checked again today just out of curiosity. They're still not here. They're probably never coming.
Wow.
But
We did go to a little shack,
yeah.
literally.
Yeah, so
There was
that
a shack in a Buffalo Wild Wings parking
Those-
lot.
yeah, and
It said free COVID test.
yeah,
That's what you get.
Whatever.
For free.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm feeling much better now.
Yeah, you sound way
We
better.
got the negatives. We're good.
Mhm.
They told us it was negative. They just never sent me the email confirmation, which Larry's work wanted for those that
I-
are listening. So
I went and got a test on Saturday. I went to CVS
Yeah.
and I did it on my own. Thankfully, they don't have you do much. Literally, all CVS has you do is they give you stuff through the window. You're in the drive-through of the pharmacy. You take the swab. You swab your first side 5 times and the other side 5 times. You don't have to dig it down deep or anything. That's all you got to do now. And I was like, okay. And then my results came in like a day and a half later. So we were good. But yeah, anybody that's thinking about SCG, definitely pay attention to that. Also, let's do some like shameless plugs. Steven's going to be streaming Monday through Friday, 11 to 4. Except this week, obviously, he's going to be doing a very special 10-hour stream tomorrow. And in addition,
Yes.
we will be offline on Thursday and Friday. However,
and maybe Monday. We'll see about Monday because I'd imagine Monday we're probably not getting back in until 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Who knows? It'll be late though.
yes,
I know it'll be late.
And that's why I took the day off.
I did not.
Yeah.
but
So
that's
we'll
okay.
we'll see if I stream that day. Maybe I'll edit my hours, but Julia will want to hang out that afternoon too, so I probably won't go too much past 4. But maybe I'll do like a shorter stream. Maybe I'll hop on it like we'll see how I'm feeling. I'll post about it. We'll talk about it
Yeah,
via Twitter and Facebook and all that. So you'll all hear about it.
Yep, we'll definitely figure that out. But also, we're going to be doing Target Swish every Tuesday next week. We are not going to be doing the Legacy Ban List Revisited because Dewey is going to be gone and we want to make sure that he's a part of our special series. So we'll be doing that in 2 weeks. Next week, we are going to have 2 guests. We're going to have 2 interviews. We are going to interview Zach Allen and Gavin. I don't know
Gavin
Gavin's
Bennett.
last
There's
name.
going to be it's Bennett. There's going to be a lot of shit talking. I think a lot of shit talking between all of us. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun.
No, because when regards to Zach Allen on the show, I don't think
Yeah.
there's a lot of shit talk coming when we have Gavin on.
That's all right. We can shit talk there too. It's fine. He can shit talk us. We can shit talk him. Who knows?
I'm not
Whatever. It'll be fun.
I don't really
Either
shit
way.
talk, so I'd have to.
Oh
learn
yeah,
how.
I know. It's not something you partake in, but
Yeah.
Ever. Never.
yeah, never.
Never. But more shameless plug time. Also, every Monday night, except this Monday. We're probably gonna take. I don't know. Danny's still gonna be up. I don't know what. We might do it without commentary. We'll have to see. But every Monday, typically, we are over at Galactic Toys and Games in Kentwood, Michigan. We do their Monday Night Modern tournament. We also do some of their special tournaments.
Personally, I think I'd be down to maybe do that one, but again, we'll see. Being gone for as long as we're going to be gone, Julia's definitely going to want to hang out that night. So, yeah, and again, we have no idea what time we'll get back. So maybe we'll be tired as heck. Who knows? But
oh, I'm going to work that day. So
nice. That's
I
I
drive
feel for you, man.
I drive a big truck for a living. I don't need sleep.
That's safe.
Yeah, how bad could it go?
Safe
How bad could this be?
That's fine. More plugging time though. We're also gonna be doing some more moto streams. I don't know what the days are gonna be for next week. We gotta look at the schedules and everything. It definitely won't be Monday. It'll probably be somewhere in the range of Wednesday to Friday. Next weekend, I believe that's Sunday, I'm gonna do a challenge.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna definitely do a challenge live, which I think will be super fun. I don't know what format yet. There's a good chance it'll probably be Legacy.
Okay.
Because I need to be practicing Legacy right now.
Makes sense.
And there's a good chance it'll just be Death and Taxes. Death and Taxes is the front runner. I also thought about playing like an Omnitel and seeing how that deck felt.
Okay.
Pretty sweet pile.
Yeah, both decks are reasonable. We're definitely not doing the Pauper Challenge. I'm just responding Eli over here being a psychopath.
Oh, yeah. Frickin' Eli, dude.
I know that Zach looks like was asking about doing a filmed cube on Wednesday night at some point, too.
I am down to do a Wednesday night film cube.
That'd be fun.
Ain't that right, Dewey?
I mean, I won't be there.
If we do that, though, if we film it, we should really try and get 8 players together and really make it as legit as possible. Because last time we did one was kind of more casual with 4 people, and I love that. But I think if we're gonna stream one, we definitely want 8. Definitely want 8, and we can set that up. We've got a big team. Like we've got to be able to set that up.
I agree. Addition to that, I don't have any like big tournaments on, but we do have a YouTube page. I definitely go ahead, give us a subscribe, like some of our videos, comment below, let us know how you like them. If you like what we're doing and you want to help us get better equipment, be able to evolve our game a little bit, maybe upgrade the viewing of the Monday Night Modern tournament or in our special events, you can always donate to our page. We're always appreciative of anything that people want to help us out with to get better equipment. We're definitely trying to make this stream special. We're trying to get Steven a little bit more like a green screen setup, so anything that helps there we'd greatly appreciate. We're also going to be starting a Patreon in the next few weeks to the next month, so look out for that. It's going to have sweet things like deck guides and all that good stuff, access to our Discord, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. We want to work out the details for that because we want to make sure that when we are having that system set up, it's going to be meaningful content to everyone that does. Give us money.
We don't want it to be rushed kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In this that we did the drawing last Wednesday, and we still have not had a winner claimed. So I recommend if you won that contest, reach out to us. We're not going to say your name right now because we want you to go back and watch that video.
It still hasn't been claimed?
Still no claim yet. If they don't claim...
Come on, people. Claim your stuff.
They have till tomorrow night. If they don't claim, we're redrawing tomorrow night.
We're spinning again.
We're going to spin again. Live on Twitch.
Big yikes.
And we have also discussed this. I'm not going to talk about what the prizes are. We're going to be making the formal announcement. The next end of the year contest I was talking about, where Dewey was talking about he's got some things he's going to be throwing in. I got some things. Steven's going to give free manicures to people. It's going to be a good time. Big end of the year contest. And that's going to be a Twitch contest. So all the followers are going to get one entry into that. subscribers will get 3. So 3
Okay.
entries for all subscribers, 1 entry for all followers.
Mhm.
And in addition, you get 1 additional entry if you're a multiple month. So you get
Okay.
additional entries. So if you're a second month subscriber, that means you'll have 4 entries. This is gonna go to the end of the year, so you actually have a chance to get up to 5 if you go. So if you subscribe in December, that will give you the maximum of 5 if you're already subscribed for this month.
Okay.
Sweet.
Very cool.
So
Mhm.
and we are going to be doing the drawing on New Year's Eve / pretty much New Year's Day. We're gonna do it at 12:10
Nice.
in the morning.
Sounds fun.
We're gonna celebrate the ball dropping and then kick off the new year with a drawing.
Sounds really cool, actually.
Don't expect a lot of people to be watching it live, but it'll be on
Probably
the YouTube
not.
page.
People will be doing their thing, but that's all right.
Yeah, it's
We'll be doing
mainly
our
for the
thing.
YouTube page. You're gonna see we're gonna be partying. We'll have like New Year's hats on, confetti everywhere, and we're gonna do a drawing. It's gonna be a good time. Maybe we'll do it at 12:30. Maybe we'll let people settle down.
Sure.
You know, because 12:10 people are still partying. But
Fair.
that is going to cover this week. I just wanted to go with a few announcements at the end of it. We just want to let you know we appreciate everybody that watched tonight. Go back if you didn't get a chance to catch that great interview with Rob Hayes tonight, the man behind the controversy over the weekend. He got to say his side of the story when he went up against our Swish Gaming teammate Daniel Wharton. Definitely don't hesitate to go back on YouTube and watch that. You get the link right in our About section. But until we catch you guys next week, this has been Larry, Steven, and Dewey. We will catch you next time.
See you guys tomorrow.
Have a great one. I'll see you guys in